What's up, guys? It is the 25th of April 2026. It is a Saturday, and the current water temperature at the beach area is 64.4, looking good. Record high was 65.5 in 2019. Record low was 53.8 in 2007. We're going to see it level off to that 64, 65 degree range over the next 10 days, and then after that, it's going to be a steady increase. So we are well above the threshold and looking good. Will there be a record 3rd April beach trip? Probably not. Let's get to the birthdays. Al Pacino. Ooh-ah! 86 today for Al Pacino. Another actor, Jeffrey DeMunn, who can be seen in Saturday the 14th, 1981, is 79 today. And then an answer to one of last night's trivia questions, 3rd round pick in 1976, 3rd round trivia last night, NFL draft. Randy Cross, 72 today, former 49ers center and member of Canton, Ohio Hall of Fame. Hank Azaria did a lot of voices for The Simpsons, is 62 today. Darren Woodson, not a Hall of Famer, but a great safety for the Dallas Cowboys in the 1990s, is 57 today. Bitter Beer Face turns 57 today. Renee Zellweger. And then the big fundamental is 50. Happy birthday, Tim Duncan, Wake Forest University. And a happy 43rd to the great Panthers running back, DeAngelo Williams, who we all know as Ace used to call him, D-Lo. NFL draft last night. Rounds 2 and 3. What a night it was. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to get to a couple of losers and winners from last night. So this covers just last night, not from rounds 1 to 3. So losers from last night only, meaning 2nd and 3rd rounders. First, start with the Raiders. They passed. They had the 38th pick overall, near the top of the 2nd round. Their first pick since Fernando Mendoza. Should have been a receiver with Denzel Boston sitting right there. Would have been a great target for Mendoza, and they passed on him. They also had Pons there, the cornerback that the Jets stole, who's really good. It's kind of small, but just lightning fast. Passed on him too, and went with Traden Stukes instead, defensive backfield. And number 38 overall. I thought it was a bad night for the Raiders with that. Also, Jackass J, your team did not have a good night last night. I did not like what the 49ers did. Stribling was a reach at number 33 overall, the first pick in the 2nd round, first pick of the entire evening. Again, they should have gone with the wide receiver as well. The board at that point, going into the 2nd round, was stacked with very good receivers, including Boston, and they completely just passed and went with Stribling. Really strange they did that. Romello Height was their next pick, an edge rusher. Does his skill set translate to the pros? I don't think so. And then their 3rd pick of the night was another head scratcher, Kalen Black, running back. This guy can't even catch passes. What's he going to do in the Shanahan offense? Can you imagine Mike Washington, the speedy back? He was there if they wanted to go running back. Also, Emmett Johnson, a great pass catcher. Imagine him in Shanahan's offense. So Kalen Black, not a good pick. Neither was Romello Height. Neither was Stribling. Not a good night for the 49ers. They are my loser. They're a loser from last night. Winners from last night. I have a few teams. Let's start with the obvious. Johns Browns, who were a winner in night 1. They're also a winner last night with Denzel Boston, a great pick. You have Jerry Jeudy there, and then they picked Casey Concepcion, who is a very overlooked receiver. He's going to be very good. They picked him in round 1, and then they get the size, the 6'4" guy who can just shred, just eliminate defenders. It's a type of body that they do not have in that offense or on that team at all. Denzel Boston, great pick. But not only that, they went with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety that the Vikings should have taken or the Colts back in round 1. Now, the Browns had the number 24 pick overall, and you could justify Boston and McNeil-Warren being picked there at number 24. Yet, they get them both last night. Steals. And on top of that, they add a little cherry on top to the evening with Austin Barber, the road grader tackle, who is a little bit developmental, but this guy can at least be a good backup this year and a good future player. Austin Barber, good. So 3 good picks for the Browns last night. Another winner was Andy's Falcons, and what a story that was last night. Avion Terrell now will reunite with his brother in the Atlanta secondary. Hell of a cornerback. The story was the fact that he's got his brother on that team, but the real story is he's a very good cornerback. And then they went with Zachariah Branch. So one of Andy's Bulldogs is now one of Andy's Falcons. The wide receiver Zachariah Branch is a great value pick. He is similar to like Zay Flowers of the Ravens, but he's also could be a valuable return man. So great picks by the Falcons last night. And finally, Dewey's Colts getting some quality defensive help with C.J. Allen, linebacker, and then A.J. Halsey in the secondary. Very under-the-radar, solid picks there by Dewey's Colts. And before I get to the best available for day 3, I got to say last night's featured presentation that's been picked by Bear Scott was called Accidental Activist 2013. This one's clocking in at 58 minutes long. It's a DVD purchased earlier this month from the thrift store, if you saw that video. Larry Bacovi, Kristen Wallet, Hannah Malone. This is hilariously bad. It's got the lines in this is really, really funny. The timing. Good pick by Bears. I enjoyed this movie. I've never seen it before. I don't even think it's on YouTube. Horrible film, but hilarious. Day 3, rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 coming up at 12 p.m. Pittsburgh time. Are you ready? The Bills will be on the clock, and the best available players to start the day. Obviously, Jermod McCoy, who hasn't really been talked about as a big story in this draft, was projected as a high second rounder. He did not make it through the night. The cornerback from Tennessee had the ACL in 2025, did not play at all in 2025. He had an excellent 2024 season. The team's very scared of picking him so far. No doubt he will be picked today, but a disappointing drop for Jermod McCoy, who is ranked number 1 right now. Kuiper's best available. Another cornerback, Keontae Scott. Miami is still there. And then you also have Xavier Harris, the tackle from Ole Miss, is like the best tackle that's left on the board. Xavier Harris would have been a fit late for a few teams there, like including the Bears at the end of the 3rd round, but he was passed on. He will probably go in the 4th round. Another player I'm surprised that was passed on last night, I had him as a 2nd rounder to Denver. Mike Washington, the running back out of Arkansas. I mentioned him as a player the 49ers whiffed on. Picking Black instead. I really can't believe the Broncos did not pick Mike Washington last night. Maybe he'll be there for them in the 4th round. What a fit he would be in Denver. Mike Washington. Jalen Kilgore, safety out of South Carolina, is still there. And then you have a couple of wide receivers that are pretty good. Skylar Bell, the wide receiver from UConn. Wouldn't that be a story if the Bears drafted Skylar Bell? UConn glory for UConn's Bears. And finally, Elijah Sarrett, also a wide receiver from the Indiana Hoosiers. Free Jack Balls talked about how the Raiders should have picked the great Indiana receiver, forget his name, in the beginning of the 2nd round. He was picked in the 1st round, but his teammate Elijah Sarrett for Indiana, maybe the Raiders pick Sarrett, and you'll have Mendoza throwing to Elijah Sarrett this year, his former Hoosier teammate. So that's a possibility. Last night, in real time, we talked about how many quarterbacks will be picked last night in rounds 2 and 3 combined. I predicted it would be 2. We had a poll of like 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I predicted 2. It was 2. And at the beginning of the 3rd round, with the Cardinals on the clock, I said, could this be? Is this going to be Carson Beck? And about a minute later, the Arizona Cardinals select Carson Beck, quarterback out of Miami. You saw it in real time. Incredible. Peters does it again. And then you had Drew Aller to the Steelers. So far, just 4 quarterbacks have been selected, 2 in the 1st round, none in the 2nd round, 2 in the 3rd round. How many will be selected today for the 4 rounds remaining? I'm going to say a total of 5. Could be 6, but I'm going to say 5. Usually late, like 6th and 7th round, you start to see them kind of pop up, and there's some pretty good names there, developmental guys, possible backups. And so the 5 I'm going to say will be drafted today will be Garrett Nussmeier, UCLA, Talon Green, Arkansas, Cole Payton from North Dakota State, my guy Sawyer Robertson, Baylor. He's my, is that him right there? Maybe working out. He was my guy for the Tom Brady pick, 199 to the Bengals. Keep your eye on that in the 6th round. Sawyer Robinson, I like him as a 6th round pick. And finally, my 5th guy will be Cade Klubnik from Clemson, who was projected as a 1st rounder back in September and had a disappointing season. Those are my 5, and then you're going to see a good number of them scooped up later. So stay tuned, 12 o'clock p.m. Pittsburgh time through 6 o'clock p.m. Pittsburgh time for the last 4 rounds of the draft. We have the Tom Brady pick, 199, and Mr. Irrelevant at 257 for the, I think the Broncos is the pick there. All right, so I will not be with you for the duration of the entire draft rounds today, but maybe later tonight we'll do NFL draft trivia rounds 4 through 30. I think is the highest it ever went up to in history. We like to go through some of the old rounds from the past, including this year. And also, right after Mr. Irrelevant is selected, make sure you check and research your team to see who they picked up in scrap heap hour. So right after the NFL draft concludes, that's when the scrap heap, that's when the buzzard starts circling, and we see the phones start ringing, and the undrafted rookie free agents will start being picked up. And so it's going to be a lot of those guys scooped up very, very quickly, and I'll give you some updates on those guys as well. And look at all these honeysuckles, guys. Wow. I bet there's some of these already out at Bear Scott Stadium. All right, so see you in the draft party room this afternoon. Enjoy the end of the NFL draft today. It's going to be great. It's going to be draining. Last night was draining enough, so make sure you got your stamina for today, because today's exciting, a lot of fun, seeing a lot of the late round picks, seeing their dreams come true. And remember, all hail the Godfather, Mel Kiper. Take care, boys.